everybody, and welcome to part 4 of the series, Is There Any Meaning to Life? In part 3, we talked about whether or not right and wrong can be absolute. Now, in this section, we're going to be talking about where right and wrong, or the standard of behavior, must have come from. In the analogy that we are using, we are imagining a colony of ants representing human beings living on this paper airplane, which is their world or our universe. Now, confronted with this question of where right and wrong must have come from, the ants have come up with 2 possible scenarios. The first one is that someone or something outside of themselves must have created this standard that they all feel obligated to adhere to. And the other is that right and wrong is something that we are taught and therefore is man-made or ant-made. But this assumes that everything we learn from our parents or that we are taught in school by our teachers is a human invention. But of course that can't be true. In school we learn the multiplication table. A child who grew up on a desert island would not know it, but that doesn't mean it's not true, or that it's not real, or that it's not absolute. But certainly, it does not follow to say that math is something we made up because we're taught it in a classroom, and that we could have possibly made math or the multiplication table different if we had wanted to. Of course, some of the things that we learn in school are man-made conventions, like, for example, which side of the road we drive on, or how to set a dinner table, which can change according to time, place, country, or whatever. But there are other things, like mathematics, which are universal, real truths. The problem with this standard of behavior issue is determining which class it belongs to. Is it merely human convention, or is it a real universal truth that is above and outside of ourselves? Some ants on this airplane little land will say that the standard must be man-made because there are different countries and different societies all over that have different moral codes, and so there must be no real constant or absolute truth. But the thing is, they all do agree that there is a standard to strive for, don't they? Some societies may assert that it is proper for a man to marry only one woman, while another society may say that a man may have multiple wives. But they both agree in marriage and that a man cannot simply just have any woman on the street that he likes. Some societies punish shoplifting with a fine, while others punish shoplifting with chopping off the hand. But they both agree that shoplifting is wrong. Although there is a different method or execution of the standard, we find that the same law runs through them all. Whereas things like what clothes people wear or what music people listen to can differ to any extent. It is for this reason we find that the standard of behavior belongs in the same class as mathematics. And just as we did not create math, but rather discovered it, it follows that we did not create the standard of behavior either, especially since so many rebel against it and then make excuses. Excuses merely are proof of how deeply we actually believe in the standard, whether we like it or not. If we did not believe in it, why should we be so anxious to make excuses? Or for behaving badly?